Are you dressed like this for the promotion of the film?
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Brian Hopper, LaGrasse, and Shane. I'm just not about it, Smith. Shane.
Yeah.
Question for you, bud.
Yeah.
We announced something pretty spectacular over the course of the month of April.
We did.
Because we're going retro.
Oh yeah. 80s hair, lights, drugs, music,
Coke. Yeah, retro real is going to be several different. Is it 4 or 5 films? Or it's probably 5.
It's 5.
5 movies with that 80s flair you know and love and you miss from the great decade. So I don't think there's a better way to kick things off with a movie that maybe not everybody has seen because it's foreign, but for horror fans, I know it is a cult classic. Demons, produced by Dario Argento. Big time 80s flavor.
Yes.
From the get-go in this one.
Subways, cars, Coke, Metropol, all 80s stuff. Also, Billy Idol, Motley Crue.
Except, I think there's Rick Springfield, the guy who sang Jesse's Girl, has a song in this. Like, this soundtrack is insane.
Fire soundtrack.
Absolutely fire soundtrack. Movie just hits. Can't wait to get into it. It's a demon movie with the so we're seeing these demon movies a lot where even demons can feel like zombies.
Yes.
And that's kind of like what it is.
Yeah, this is one bite, one scratch, you're turning. It goes by zombie rules here.
And is it the movie that's creating it, or is it the movie theater?
That's the interesting part. What is actually creating it? I believe it was the theater itself. That's what I felt.
It is the theater. It is not the movie. It's actually confirmed from the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. So, without further ado, let's jump into the first retro real spooky pit.
Demons, or as the Italians call it, Demoni, released in 1985. Random people are invited to a screening of a demonic movie at the mysterious Metropol and soon find themselves trapped in the theater with demons. Film was directed by Lamberto Balva, stars Alberto Barbani, Natasha Hovey as Cheryl, Karl Zinni as Ken, Fiore Argento as Hannah, and Paolo Cosi as Kathy. Yeah, like I said, this movie, look, it's got the 80s flair.
Yeah.
Even from the start of the film, they're on like a subway. Our main characters, I already forgot their names, and you're hearing this great theme for demons.
Cheryl, right?
Cheryl, this 80s true bop.
Yeah. You meet a lot of other characters. There's a man in a Terminator mask, and he's handing out Willy Wonka golden tickets to the Metropol.
Yeah, and air this demons movie, and that's when she asked, hey, is this? Number one, he looks scary.
Yes.
He thinks he's a stalker, but he's just handing out tickets, and she's asking him, hey, are you dressed like this for the promotion of the film? And he gives her the best answer of all time: a walk away.
Yes. So what is he supposed to be?
I think so. This guy, if you watch the movie, he's actually an actor in
The movie.
Demons movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think he's promoting it. Probably involved with the demonic activity that's going to be happening.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so she gets the extra ticket, and she's going to give it to her friend, and they're going to go to the Metropol tonight to see the screening. Now, they don't know what this movie is. She's nervous that it's going to be a horror movie. She's not a fan of horror movies, but they're in for the experience to see what this movie is going to be.
A lot of hype around the Metropol and the demon movie that's not even told on the ticket. So she's convincing her friend, main character Cheryl. Her friend is named
Hannah?
Is it Hannah?
I thought so.
Yeah, it's Hannah. No, it's Kathy.
Kathy?
Who is the girl that plays Hannah, though? Hannah is... Oh, she is the... That makes sense. She's the girl from The Young Couple.
Oh.
She's the Young Couple girl.
I knew where that was going with the young couple. Well,
it was going nowhere good.
Yeah. Is that her?
Mm-mm.
No.
This girl is one of the girls that works at the Metropol, right?
You're
She's
right.
handing out tickets,
Yeah.
but then she becomes quickly succumbed. So they're interesting. So the Metropol workers, they're like the guy with the mask.
Yeah.
He's in the movie, but like he's like very like probably involved with getting everybody in trouble and locked in with the demons.
Yes.
But that girl at work, I think she's just like an innocent worker at the Metropol because she becomes a demon.
Yeah, she gets rocked.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking. Okay. Yeah, so they all get to the theater, they all sit down, they're watching the movie, and it's a horror movie, and it's like it's a couple, two couples, and they find this mask, this demonic mask. And apparently if you put the demonic mask on, it summons the demons, right? Is the plot of the movie?
That's the plot of the movie. What's interesting is as they load into the theater, you have this pimp guy with
two hoes.
With the two hoes. One of the hoes puts the mask on because the mask is like in like
on display,
and she cuts her face. Remember that she cuts her face. So that's gonna come into play. The two main girls, these two guys like start hitting on them.
Yes,
and they sit right next to them in the theater. That's gonna be their guy. I think the main guy is George, and the other guy is named, I believe it's, I don't know. It's not Hal. It's, I already said his name. Ken. So it's George and Ken.
Right. And so they're hitting it off with these girls pretty fast, actually, pretty well.
Well, they George hits the vending machine, gets them some some sodas, and then they sit next to them. Girls are about it, girls are.
Yeah, they're
playing coy.
Yeah, they play their little games, and the guys try hard, and eventually it works.
Yeah, try hard pod.
Yeah, and so like you said, the girl's going to cut her face on the mask, and that symbolizes what happens in the movie. And they even bring it up. It's like, this is what happened in the movie.
Yeah. So like the movie's about like zombies. They even like as they watch the movie, they mention like Nostradamus. Mm-hmm. They mention like how like the demons are going to take over people. And like they go into like a grave, and then they become like, I think they get attacked and they become zombies themselves, essentially. Which is interesting because they're going to see a unique parallel to what's going to happen here. Other moviegoers, just to explain it, there's going to be a blind guy going in with his daughter. His daughter's going to be going in with like another guy that's like she's hooking up with. But what we can mention is the girl that cut her face, she is going to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And when she goes to the bathroom, she's going to start to notice that where she got cut is actually going to start to pulsate.
A lot of pulsation.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's the gross variety.
It's going to pop.
It's going to bust. That's
in the gross variety.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, she like quickly turns
very
into
fast.
A demon.
Yeah. She's OG demon now. She's the first of the demons. And her friend notices she's been in the bathroom too long, so her friend's gonna go check on her. Her friend's gonna get fucking demoned real quick.
She actually gets clawed in the throat.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I think she runs out of the bathroom and she goes like near the theater, like where the screen is.
Yeah.
And she's running from the OG demon, but she's herself is starting to turn.
Yes.
And the demons are they have the fangs, they're creepy, they have the discolored face, but she's starting to turn. And the thing is, they're watching a movie where someone is like going into a tent and like ripping it.
Yes.
And one of the two main girls is saying like, I swear I hear a girl screaming, and it's not a part of the movie. I think she's behind behind the screen. And then as like the screen is cutting, this girl like falls through the screen.
Yes. And this causes obviously mass hysteria in the movie theater. People are running, people are screaming, people are getting torn apart.
Oh, big time. It's mass hysteria. And they go up to this girl, and this girl is, she's become a demon. I think what's kind of crazy is like after this happens and the mass hysteria happens, like everyone's trying to get out of the theater. Like that's the big thing. Like everyone is like trying to they see that this girl is becoming a demon. Mm-hmm. She literally has fangs pushing out of her mouth.
Yes.
And they're all going to try to make for the exits. The thing is, the Metropol was not built for people to get out, only to come in on this once a night
because all the
premiere
doors are locked. There is no way out.
You can't escape.
So you have to watch the fangs grow.
As it pushes out the other
The blind guy's daughter gets killed, right? She gets her face bit like early on in the...
She gets her face bit. So people just start getting killed by the OG demon and some of the other demons. There's the girl that... because the blind guy's looking for his daughter. She's hooking up with another guy in the movie theater. They both get killed while they're kissing by the OG demon, I think.
She hangs the guy.
She strings him up. Yeah.
She hangs the guy. She bites the throat out of the daughter. And then, like, just another guy gets his throat ripped off. And it's like, it's all just so gross. Everyone's just... There's a lot of mangled flesh in this movie.
Yeah, it's big time practical for sure.
And they're going to start to try to board up doors to hide behind. Like, the pimp meets up with, like, the newly formed couples. And they're going to start, like, barricading doors to make sure these zombies can't get to them.
Yeah, and that's the goal. So a couple things, like they're trying to see like how the movie theater also is functioning. So they're gonna board up doors. They're also gonna see they can't get out. Like there's no exit out, and they're also gonna try to see what they can do to get into the projectioners. Out. So when they even get bust into how the projectioner is filming this movie, they find out that like this is completely an automated process, that nobody's back there.
Yeah, there's no one doing the projection,
which is a little creepy. Nobody's doing the projections. Like, how is this even possible? And obviously, like the big thing is like they're gonna try to look for a way out.
Yes.
But they can't get out through the main entrance. So should they? Eventually, they're gonna start busting through walls. But I would say we should probably cut to the
side plot.
The side plot, yeah. Which comes into the main plot.
Yes. So now the side plot is it's 3 guys and a girl, right?
3 guys and a girl, coke and tits.
Yes. They're just doing coke. They're doing coke off of her tits. He drops the coke through the cleavage tits. He tries to scoop the coke up with the razor blade, but nicks her.
How do you feel about that? That can't be fun.
Gang.
I mean, they're so coked up. I don't think she cares. There's a guy named Hot Dog. And like, how... Would you like getting your coke scrubbed out of your tits?
No. And I also wouldn't like getting nicked with the razor blade while they're trying to get it out, because that definitely is going to sting in the morning.
But that is what's happening. And basically, if I'm not mistaken, they're on hot pursuit from the cops.
Yes. They are running from the cops. And they're like changing cars. They're hot wiring cars till the cops eventually catch up to them, and they have to run and hide. But they hide in the Metropol. But... when they get in, a demon gets out.
It's the blind guy, I think.
Yes.
So what happens is the blind guy, someone actually puts their fingers through his eyes, which wouldn't matter anyway, which is ironic. But he becomes a demon.
Yes.
And he actually gets out while they get in, because the cops are going to notice that he's out, and they make you believe that he's going to take out the cops.
Yes. Which, spoiler, he does.
Yeah.
So... But before we get to, like, those guys in the Metropol, like, this group is going to constantly try to, like, hide, but it always, like, their barricades break or they get separated, or, like, because there's the young couple that tries to crawl through the vents.
They try to crawl through the vents. Like, I feel so bad for this young couple, because they're like, trying to, like, operate by themselves, but no matter where they go or what they do, they try to operate through the vents. They get killed in the vents.
Yes, because the girl turns in the vent.
Yeah.
And then she attacks the boyfriend in the vent, and then they're dead. I actually like when the pimp gets killed, because he's like fighting off like 4 of them at the same time.
The pimp is so loud. He's fantastic. He like, tries to take charge. He gives no fucks. Yeah. He's just destroying zombies. But yeah, he does get taken out. And if I'm not mistaken, he's actually one that gets strung up too.
He does. Well, he gets strung up by the intestines of one zombie, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like biting him as he's strung up.
He's strung up, and he gets taken out. What sucks before like the girl gets killed, kills her boyfriend in the crawl space, there's a really gross scene where another like zombie lands on top of her.
Throws up on it,
and just like his whole face and mouth is just like puking like blood all over her for like a solid 30 seconds.
In her mouth. This is the perfect sequel from Evil Dead last week. Because it is just someone getting blood puked into their mouth. It is so disgusting and disturbing. And
yeah.
So I assume any contact with blood or the bite or the scratch is how you turn, correct?
Yeah, in this movie theater, 100%. So, like, I was confused because I was like, when I watched this first, I'm like, is the movie the one that's, like, potentially, like, affecting them? Or is it the movie theater themselves? And I have to think that everything has led this random group to get to this movie theater and just almost like they're playing the demon movie themselves.
Right.
Like they're living the movie, and it seems to, as the movie escalates, that seems to be the case. That they're living their own demonic movie, and it's starting within the Metropol.
Yeah, that's what I took it as.
Yeah. Because there's different storylines too, which is super interesting. Like you have the young couple that's trying to escape death. You have the two girls and
the two guys
couples that are trying to like find ways to break out of the Metropol. They actually, the strategy is going to be like to actually just break out of the theater.
Yes.
Like not to like try to find the exit, but like break through the walls to get out. And like I said, like a lot of they're going to eventually meet up with the Coke kids.
Well, because the Coke kids are going to break in, like we said. And they're going to take down the barricades.
They barricaded so the demons wouldn't get in. And this is where things are going to get kicked up into high gear because the people in the theater that have barricaded themselves in for safety, they're like, oh, people are coming for us. Like, let's remove the barricades.
Yep.
And then they're going to let the Coke kids in. But as they let the Coke kids in, there's probably like a really iconic scene of this movie where the demons are coming in with their green eyes.
Yes.
And it's actually like really well done.
There's a lot of shots in this movie I felt like are very well done.
Yeah, I'm like, this is super retro real. Like, this is what it's about. Like, the green eyes, the creepy walk, the 80s music, the Motley Crue.
The Billy Idol.
Yeah, it's just great. And as they're slowly approaching and getting back in the Metropol, there's going to be more people fighting. One of the strategies they employ, like I said, is to try to break through the walls and see if that works. So they break through the walls of the Metropol and they go down a few corridors, but they hit a dead end.
Yeah.
And that's not a way for them to get out. So that's just like a failed option.
Yeah. This movie is a lot of like going and failing to escape.
It literally is.
Well, they like, so that's the thing. Eventually, like it gets to the point, like I don't know if I missed it. How does the helicopter fall through the ceiling?
Oh, we'll get there, but we like there's a. It's a great call of like how that even comes to play because it's really not truly explained.
Okay.
So I think the next part I want to chat about is after everything happens and like the demons are coming through and there's more chaos and people are dying within the Metropol theater itself. Yeah. What's going to happen is their group. I know the one girl. I think her name is it Kathy?
Yes.
She's crawling and crawling and crawling, and she's gonna get to them, to the main group eventually. But
she gets bit.
She gets bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to deal with that. And it's not gonna end well for her.
No, they well, she attacks the other guy, right?
She attacks is it Ken?
Yeah. He gets bit. And then they stop her, but he begs them to not let him turn to cut his head off.
He actually picks up. So one of the displays in the theater was a bike, right?
Yes,
and a sword, and he has the sword already. And he basically gives the sword to George to like basically kill him.
Yes,
like, I think that was the approach, and the way that make it looks like is he cuts his head off.
Right.
I think they off screen it, but this is a fucking cool scene
where the demon crawls out of the friend.
Out of Kathy, there's a legit demon that just comes out of her skin. And the funny thing is that this demon is never seen again. This demon just runs away.
Yeah,
literally, I was watching it out. Runs away. It's wild. But so George is going to have to kill his friend Ken.
Yes.
And in the process, he's going to grab
the motorcycle
on display.
That's right, I forgot. And rides the motorcycle swinging at the demons.
With the katana sword, he is killing everybody. And in the process, see, I was wondering how the Coke boys and girls come into effect. The girl is putting on lipstick and gets killed.
Yes.
In the mirror. But he's killing everybody that's becoming a demon, and you do see the Coke kids as demons at this point.
Yes.
And he does slice them up.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
To be honest with you, this is kind of like a long scene where he goes back and forth into multiple theaters.
Yes, and kills everything.
He pretty much kills everybody. I like how the demons are, there's the girl demon. They're like launching above, and the other girl, who's the main girl, forgot her name already.
I forgot too. Actually.
Cheryl
Cheryl
is on the back, of the motorcycle with him.
Yeah.
And after he basically kills everybody in the theater, this is where they're gonna hear a helicopter noise.
Yeah.
From up top.
And it just falls through the ceiling.
And this is why I feel like they're living out their own movie, because if they can't escape the movie theater, how are they going to get out?
Yeah.
So they get the extra added bonus of a rando helicopter breaking in for their only way to get out.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're going to fly out using the helicopter.
No, they just turn the blades on a little bit so it slices up some of the zombies around them.
Yeah, and they're going to use the winch.
Yeah.
And I think it's a gun. He fires the winch as a
grappling hook almost.
Grappling hook to climb out of there.
Yeah.
Which he 100% utilizes to get him and Cheryl out of the Metropol.
But then they have to fight the freaking guy who gave them the golden ticket from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they see the guy that was an actor in the movie, which is ironic, who definitely was working with the demons in some capacity, who's out there, that they have to fight and kill. And they think that, after killing him, everything is good. Everything is grand. And that they'll be safe. It's interesting because there is a rando car that comes through of people of just a group of demon hunters.
Yes, because you actually see in the apartment buildings the demons are attacking people in the apartments now, so that it's spread far.
And it makes sense though, because that the other guy got out.
Yes,
and they killed the cops,
and they would have killed more people.
Yeah, so it's now a legitimate, it's everywhere.
Yes, so they get in this car. And the credits start to roll. But the way they were zooming on the shot, I knew.
I fucking love how they do this. So it looks like they're going to just go into the sunset with this group and just try to get away and kill these demons as they go. But the coolest part about this is George and Cheryl, they're epically standing up. And then as the credits are rolling, all of a sudden, Cheryl just turns into a demon. We have no idea how she became one, but she did. And I love that part about this movie.
And they just shoot her instantly without hesitation.
I think he does. Does George do it?
George and the kid.
George and the kid. Yeah, that are in there.
Yeah.
Just shoot her. And she's just on the side of the road. And that's literally how
the movie ends.
Demons ends. It's not a long movie.
It's not, but it's a good one. It's a fast-paced movie.
Fast-paced. Things escalate quickly. The characters are cool. I will say, the pimp, the hose, because they're the ones that start it by putting on the mask. The idea that they're trying to get them into the Metropol on a special night, they're just it unleashes demon craze across the planet is incredible.
Yeah, I love all of it.
It seems to escalate pretty quickly.
It does.
Too.
That's what I'm saying. Everything happens so fast in this movie, but it's a very, very enjoyable ride. It's very fast paced. You can get the Argento influence in a lot of this movie with the colors, the way the reds or the blues between shots and the greens and the eyes. It's very Italian. You can tell with the way they film it. Also, the dubbing is not great, and you can tell. But that's a staple almost of Italian movies. But man, if you just want to watch a fast-moving, gory demon fest, that's it's the ultimate. You're just watching this movie. You're watching people get murdered in a theater while fucking rocking out to "White Wedding" by Billy Idol.
Yeah,
it's epic, and I am going to give this movie. I'm going to give this movie, the more I've talked about it, I have it as a 7, right?
Yeah.
And I was the more I talk about it, it's maybe it's an 8, but I think I'm going to leave it at a 7.
I struggle with that because it is definitely a strong 7 for me.
Yeah.
It's a strong 7. I couldn't go the 8 because there's just some stuff I just can't truly understand.
Right.
And I love that. The fact that they just leave you in the movie theater of why are they here?
Yes.
How did they get here? But that's the special part about this movie. But with that being said, I come to the conclusion that the idea is they're going to be acting out their own zombie movie.
Yes, agreed.
That's how I took it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. It's just a really, really fun movie. You hit the nail on the head with saying it's fast paced. The soundtrack is great. It's a great way to kick off Retro Reel because this is a perfect Retro Reel movie, and we do have a set of another 4
we got
bangers.
Some good ones.
They're all fucking incredible movies. So I'm really excited to continue to talk about it. When I first watched this movie, I immediately was listening to the Spotify Demon soundtrack because the soundtrack is just so fucking good. It really is. It's just such a hitter. I definitely recommend this movie. I know it's on Shudder.
Yes. I think that's the only spot. You could probably rent it on Amazon. You normally can.
If you don't like foreign movies, I'll be honest with you, I don't think you'd be dissuaded. Like, this movie is
this is still, it's very good. The whole movie's in English, so you don't even need subtitles.
There is a Demons 2, and then there's a Church. The Church is another
third one.
Another sequel. So yeah, it's a solid series. I've seen all three. This is definitely the strongest of the three. And yeah, like I said, I think this is, for me, is a really strong 7. Couldn't go 8, but I think it's a very strong 7 because it's just a fun movie with some plot holes, but at the same time, like, it just hits, and it's a feel-good movie, and it definitely has tremendous rewatchability.
Completely agree with that statement.
Guys, I was just looking up some facts. It said that, and I know you guys like this video game, apparently the Metropol is a building in the first Silent Hill video game.
Oh, wow. Really?
Ooh, yeah. I gotta look into that now.
I know you guys both like that
I
video
do.
game, so.
Yeah.
That's actually awesome that they would take influence from this movie.
Yeah,
and
for
do
sure,
that.
for sure.
Cool. All right. So Necronomicon, we literally have no shortage of people.
So I seen the second movie, so like I love how they bring back the pimp in the second movie, even though he's mega dead in the first one. They just did it because of his character is so funny.
Yeah.
He's probably not my kill though. Like, I can go with Kathy with the thing that comes out of her back.
That's awesome.
I can go with, there's a lot of good ones. The ending one was crazy because you think they're just going to ride off and then she just turns into a zombie and gets thrown on the side of the road, which is super epic. Like, there's a lot of good kills. There's the couple that gets killed in the crawl space.
Vents, that's a very good one. I'm personally going to go with Kathy. The demon coming out of her back is just too good.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And the thing just kind of runs away. Like, it is super creepy. You also have the coke girl that gets killed while doing it, but I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's Kathy for sure.
All right, Kathy, you were innocent in all this. You weren't even someone who got the ticket. The ticket was gifted to you from your best friend. That almost makes this worse, right?
What do you want to do on a Friday night?
Let's go to the Metropol. You were a sweet girl supporting your friend going there. Thought you were going to meet some dudes at the drink fountain, the water drinking fountain.
The vending machine that they couldn't get to work.
Yeah.
George to the hit.
You thought it was all going to go great, but instead, you had one of the more gruesome deaths of the whole thing, and you had a fucking demon burst out of your back. I didn't even get the physics of that, but for that, and having the most memorable death in a movie that is filled with tons of them, we're putting you in our Necronomicon.
I'm reading this now. Apparently, Dario Argento co-wrote this.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. He had to have a lot of... Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, Bri, that was episode 1 of 5 for Retro Reel.
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I know we say these things a lot, but this month, I think I'm more excited for than any other theme month we've ever done. I know it's ahead.
Yeah.
And I just really love 80s culture, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to what's coming up.
Perfect, because next week we're doing the 1986 movie, The Hitcher.
Yeah. We've seen this before. This movie is a fucking trip.
Yeah.
Like, I can't express enough how just crazy, batshit wild this movie is.
It is absurd, and I mean that in all the best ways possible.
Rutger Hauer literally cements his, like, he's been in so many great movies, but this movie, he is truly unwavering and consistently unhinged throughout the duration of the film.
And it is a sight to behold.
I can't wait. It's truly unbelievable how many times he's able to lose the main character and then get back and make sure he relentlessly chases him down.
Yes.
It's fucking great.
So, with that said, we are the Final Podcast signing off, and we will see you next week where we teach you why you never pick up a hitchhiker.
You never do.
This is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea.
www.thefinalpodcast.com. New episodes every Monday. Please tune in next week for another entry of Retro Reel. We're going to be doing The Hitcher. Super exciting. Obviously, Fridays we're available for low budget movies across action and horror genres. And obviously, that's the B show.
The Bogart Show.
The Bogart, the Shanghai Show. It's the Bogart Show. So we'll see you next week for more Retro Reel. We're super excited for that. So www, like I said, Final Podcast to find us. And yeah.
Bye-bye.
Check us out on YouTube.